Hi friends, welcome back to my crafty desk. Sandra here at Blossom and Inspire, and I'm going to work on some tassels, but before I did that, I thought I would show you my madness that I work from within. Oops, a little piece of basket, broken basket. Okay, anyhow, so I pulled all my yarns out, and I kind of organized them a little bit just by, I have organized my yarns so many different times, and I really think it depends on what the project is, how I'm looking at it, and if I'm finding issues with not pulling it, and then I think, why am I not doing it? What's my problem? So for this project, I decided that I needed to organize them not by type, but by color family, I guess, in the way I see it. And I don't know what the true color families are and how they work. I just know what looks good to me in my eyeballs, and so I just kind of organize them like that. So I have different types of yarns here. That one is my blues and purples that I feel like go well together. And then I have my pinks, and then some of the purples that I felt look better in here, and then just a splotch of white that doesn't go there, but I didn't know what to do with it. So, oh, and there's another light pink. I don't know how well the colors are coming through with my camera. So then I have my teals, my blues and teals there. And then of course I have them sitting next to my other blues so that I'm still kind of in that same color family. And then I have all my creams and I don't know if I have any white in here. I think this is all like creams and tans and tones like that. So that, like you can see here, there's different types, but there's different colors, and some of these are variegated. Gosh, I just love touching it. And then over here in this basket, I felt like a lot of this was really speaking to me for like the fall colors that I like, and just colors I like to put together. So yellows, oranges, golds, some multicolors, some different types of greens that I felt looked better over here. Like this one has a sparkle. They just felt like they felt better over here than in my other baskets. And then I have some browns. So kind of like that. And then underneath that basket, I have my eyelash trims galore. And these eyelash trims, let me move this basket. I have a pile here of stuff that was being made that I have to unravel. So I try to keep all my eyelash trims over here, and I found many different ways to organize them. And then I keep like that. Okay, let me put this basket back over here. And then I come down here and I have a lot of my variegated ones. And then also these yarns right here aren't really fuzzy, they're small and thin. And then I have these little baby yarns, just things that I find at yard sales and estate sales. So I'm kind of putting that there right now. This one actually, if it was in a ball, would probably go up in here into this pile, maybe, I don't know. Then I come on down here and I have all my blacks, all my black ones, and there's just different like textures. So we've got thin ones, fuzzy ones, velvety ones, t-shirt ones. I have some white in there to brighten this basket up so I can see it, and then some red. And I have different textures. So like that's a really soft one. Some are real expensive and some are cheaper. I've bought some of them brand new because even though I don't really do anything with yarn, I love it, and so it makes me happy. It makes me happy. And then sometimes like this one, I just like the yarn, and I didn't know what I would do with it ever. And I bought this years ago, but I went into a friend's shop and I just wanted to support her shop. So I just thought, what am I going to buy in here? And that I like, that makes me happy, even if I don't do anything with it at this time. So there's my grays. All that to say, there's my grays. Then I have my little scrap basket here of things that I've been, either projects I was working on or hauls, and I thought, oh, I need to get this put away, and I just kind of dumped stuff in here. That's like all my scrappy stuff, but I know that pieces of this can be used for like dangles or bows or add-ons. And then here's some more yarn that just needs to get put together. That doesn't even go in this basket. None of that really does. It's kind of a mix mash. Here's some pieces, another organization thing. I think some of these, I don't know, theirs was supposed to go in different things and they never did. They never made it. And then I have this basket here, which has a lot of my thin stuff. So you can see how thin that is. I love these because I can put, it's easy to string beads and buttons and things like that on there. And then these, I just don't know. I don't even know what this is called, but they're pretty and I like them. And then I have all these pieces right here. that I like to keep in here. These are nice and like I get like, you know, they're like yarny but thready. I don't know. I don't even know what they're called. So that's what I have set for my yarns, and I get them all out, and I cover my entire table space, which see, it's covered. I work, so like I'm organized but I'm messy at the same time. So like anybody else, if they came down here, they're like, how do you work in this? And then other people are like, oh my gosh, it's so organized. And I'm like, I don't really know how this happens, but I have to clean all this up for the next project. Now I will take you over and show you my ribbon drawer, because that's another thing that I work out of, and I try to keep that organized as well. Okay, so this is my another little dresser. It's not really a dresser. I don't know what it is. It's like it's a piece of furniture that I bought at a yard sale, and I painted it, and I've been using it for lots of things. Anyhow, but in here I like to keep my ribbons. Is that what they're called? Like my little satin ribbons and things like that. And I'll just pull these out, and I like to keep them kind of organized. Like I like them in trays, so I can pull the tray out, take it over there, see what colors will work, if I like it or not, and then I can bring the tray back, and I don't have to have this whole drawer out on that table like the yarn is. The yarns I moved because they're in a whole different part of my room, and then here's my bigger ribbons down here, which I don't think I'm going to be using those for this one. And then I have a drawer for a catch-all down there, which I can't open at the moment. And then let's see, in this drawer I have another thing of ribbons. So this is where I keep all my glitz and glam. The glitz and glam. So sometimes those might get used. It just depends on what I'm doing. And then I have this one right here where I keep all my baker's twines, which I may be pulling some of those out. And then my rickracs. So here's my thing. I have them in these drawers. Again, I don't see them. I'm not using that often. It's pretty sad that I'm only going to use them because I had a specific project. Then up above on the dresser I have, these are the ribbons that I still want to go and try and crinkle, I think, or put away and then these ones also, I just kind of throw them in the basket. They need to go get crinkled. And then I have some more scrap ribbons right here that need to get put away. Some of these are from some recent hauls, and I need to use them. See, I forgot that I even had this stuff. That's not good. And I have all these ribbons right here and rickraps and things. So I just need to go through those. Actually, let's just take those over with us to the desk, and we'll see. We'll take this basket. Well, I'm going to leave this one because I know this one has a specific duty. It has a specific duty. So we'll go ahead and just take this one with us to the desk. Pick that up. Okay, here we are. We are back. I have actually pulled pieces from all that yarn that you see that I showed you. I have enough. I pulled enough to make 4 different pieces. So I have this like a bright colored pinks and things like that one going on. I have a more fall gold. It's got a little bit of pink in there and some other colors, some black. I have that one to work on, and I have this one with the blues and the teals and the purples and some black, just some different things. I love that one too. Oh my gosh, I love all of them. This one is a little bit on the skinnier side. This is just my teals and blues. I might add more to them. I don't know yet. So I've already cut most of these pieces. I started from my scraps to pull my colors, and then that's how I figured out my 4. As I was building for my scraps, I had it like a color theme for each one, sort of. And then I went and started pulling from all my, all that stuff that you've seen. So I'm just gonna use my 12-inch square here. So I know that only half of that is 6. So I'm just kind of estimating. I'm gonna have waist on both ends. I already know that. I'm okay with it. I can use those pieces in on snippet rules and things like that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just start laying these down because they're not all the same size. And then that way when I pick it up, it's already gonna give me the variations. If I want it to be straight across when I'm done, snip, snip, snip. That's all you do. So here we go. I'm just gonna go ahead and lay these down, and I'm trying to lay them down in different orders of color. Some of them I have more than one strip of that piece, and so I'm just kind of doing that. Once I have them all laid down, I'll scoop them up, and at that point I can kind of move things around a little bit if I so desire. So I'm also trying to use different weights of things that I put in here. So like this one is just like that really cool like flossy thread. I don't really know what it's called. Baker's twine. Is that baker's? I don't even know. It was just in my stuff, so I want one on that side, one on that side. So I just go like this, and that's all I do. There's a bazillion different ways to make these. Here's some of my rickrack, special rickrack. I'm gonna put that up there. Another piece of a special rickrack. I call it special because I've never seen it before, and I only have one of each. I wanna make sure that they are going to be seen easily. Everything will be seen if you look through it. And then I have my beads. Also, same thing. I'm gonna wait to put those in to the last. It's just the way I like to do that. And then I'm gonna throw this. So this one I just have a nice bright and cheery, colorful one. I'm going to put that there. And just keep on going. And then I have some pieces that I liked. There we go. I think I must have cut it in half. Sometimes if I'm pulling it from the spool, I'll just like double it, and then I'll cut later. But, or I'll cut them right now here. And see what isn't that really cool? Just love this stuff. So obviously I've collected this stuff for a very long time. And when I find good dills, I like to scoop them up. I just do. And, which I get lots of it, but I'm always like, I can't pass it up. It's such a good dill. And I have big plans to use it one day. And so here I am, you know, 12 years later, I'm going to use that stuff up. No, I'm just kidding. So, oh, okay, so now this is one of the ones I was talking about. Whoops, and I just made myself a knot, so I got to pull that out. Just be gentle. So here's a piece that's very, it's just different. I'm going to put that there because I think that needs to be on the outside. And then this one. So this one I wanted more of this skinny piece. I like them because it's going to allow me to put beads and buttons a lot easier on my piece. Since I find that difficult, I'm going to go ahead and give that a cut right now. Oops. And so I'm just trying to like get it one there and then one over here. I have more on there. I hopefully will have enough of these skinny pieces. If you don't have like these types of threads, you know, embroidery floss works really well. And, well, any kind of like kite string. Do you have kite string? I use kite string. And, you know, whatever I have. And I got some of this sparkly stuff right there. And then some of this one right here. I don't even know. Does anybody know what this kind of yarn is called? It's pretty cool. Is it a different type of eyelash? I mean, it looks like the falsy lashes, the way they are. So, although I don't think that's why it got its name. I don't think the other one looks like eyelashes either. But there we go. Another piece of this hot pink. Loving that. So now when I pick this up, I scoop it up just like that, keeping the middle where I want it, and I just kind of hold it. And you can even lay it down on your grid to see, like, do you like that piece? Look, I'm just petting it. They're so fun to play with. And then looking at it, like, what's it going to look like? You're going to see everything in there. But now I want to add these pieces here. I know they're going to be on my top. And anywhere you won't. And then maybe I'll put this one on this side here on the top. And this is weird. I'm not used to doing this. Well, I'm holding it up to hopefully in the camera and not too high, and trying to also see. There we go. And then I'm going to put my beads in here. And they, you know, they're going to move around even no matter how I try to do this. They're going to move around. So and you just kind of maneuver it with your fingers just the way you like it. Now here is where you can do a couple of different things. You can, and honestly, if you want to tie it no matter what, that's fine too. You can take another piece, like I have a piece right here of really thin, that thin stuff. You can take it in the middle. If you don't trust yourself, you can just lay it down. I think I trust myself, but for you to see it, I feel like I'm going to do it this way. Otherwise, my hands are going to be in the way. And then I just give it a tie. And that's my first tie that I'm gonna do, just to keep that separate. For me, I like to know where my tie is, so I'm going to pull this through here. Whoops, not like that, Sandra. Let me just make a mess here for you. Well, there we go. I guess it is going to be that way. I just want to make a loop up here so I can see if I want to take this off or if I want to do something else with this. I will know where my piece is, and I don't have to try to find it in this within the tassel. Which if you used a whole different color, like if this was like, since this has no black in it, if I would have used a black one, I would find that easy. But I want this not to be big. There we go. So now I know that's there, and I don't have to worry about these pieces. I can find that knot. Just gonna get rid of that. So this is where you can like move things around and you can shift it. You can see what you like, and then that's gonna be your that's gonna be your tassel. We can either just close it right there, and we can loop something in there later on if we want, anywhere we want, or we can do it now. I think for this one, I'm gonna go ahead and just put it right in. I don't know if I want to use that color though. Let me see. Or is that the only size I have for these ones? I just feel like this is so big compared to this. I don't really want that big one. You know what I mean? That's pretty gigantic. Okay, well, I do have this little one, and I can either keep this little clip on here or not. These are actually curtain hooks. I bought these to clip like curtains on, and that doesn't come off really easy, that little hook, because you know, the way it's pinched in there. But this, I don't know if that opens or not. But anyhow, whatever. That's not what we're here for. We're here for this. Does that work, or does that just go through? I don't even know. Oh, okay, and then you don't do that. Oh my gosh. I just want to put this piece through for the middle, and I just can't make my fingers work. Okay, so now that I have this done, I have my little loop. Where'd it go? Dropped it. Okay, now that I have this done, I have my little loop there. I just want to make sure that I have everything separated on one side. Now my thread's really thin, it's hard to see. I probably would have been a lot better off doing, for me anyways, if I would have used something a little bit more thicker and substantial that I can see. Because I only want half of this to go through my ring. And I'm going to use this ring right here. So I'm just going to lay that down. I'm going to give this a little twist to help myself out. I'm going to stick it through there. I hope that made sense what I just did. There. Now I can get my ring over here. I don't have to leave that knot if I don't want to. I can just now take this, and I can, if I want to cover that little seam up on there, I would just turn this around like that, and then I would bind it right there to that. So there's a couple of things we can do here. We can still do the same thing as we did with that other little knot thing, is I can just tie it off. And I'm just going to let it be a little loose for a second. I'm gonna do it kind of loose. I want to get that little seam of the ring in there, so I want that to be down in the middle. And if you don't want it to, you can, if you don't want it to move around, like I'm not gonna want it to move around, so I'm going to, when I'm done, I'm probably gonna put a little bit of glue on there. So you can do it like this, and you can simply just leave it just like that. And there you have your tassels made. You have it on there. It's beautiful. And you can add to it if you want to by adding beads and buttons and different things like that. This is a super long, as you can see, a super long tassel. There's my problem right there. I'm gonna have a lot of leftover, but that's okay. So I do like that. It does need a little bit more security with like some glue or a better tie. so that my pieces aren't just like slipping out, if that makes any sense. Now, if I wanted to do a hidden knot, a hidden tie, then I could do that too. So let's just give that a shot here. I'm going to actually make another knot with this, just to make sure I don't know how good that's gonna stay. There we go. And then I'm gonna try to find that one that I made a little knot. I would like to take it out since I'm not using it, but I can't. I guess if I can't find it, nobody else will either. Okay, we'll just leave it. So to do your hidden knot, you gotta choose what thread do you wanna use. Do you want something that's going to blend in with this, or do you want something that's going to set apart from that? And then you, if you want something that's gonna set apart, like I don't want that one. Let me see what I have over here. I guess I should have had that one ready. Maybe, I have some yarn here. Would that work? Whoops, not a little tiny piece like that, but. So when you do this, what's gonna happen is you're gonna wind it and wind it and wind it to have your little piece there. Okay, that doesn't bother me. So let me do this one after I unwind it. So I'll be right back. I'm going to unwind my little mess that I made here, and then we'll get this hidden knot done so you can see it without a mess. Okay, so if you want to do a hidden knot, we are going to, looks like my little clip pulled that. So I've never worked with one of these, and I'm finding it unpleasant. So I'm just telling you right now. So if I want to do a hidden knot, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to choose something, so I can either have something that matches this or something that is a little bit different. So just set it apart where I bind this, and I'm going to do something a little bit different. I want something plain for a couple of reasons. One, I can see it, and two, you can see it. You can see the difference on what I'm doing and how I'm doing this. And then also, I want the little knot I want the binding to be, I want to see it. So the way you do this is you take a nice long piece of whatever you want. I'm gonna take this one, and I just took a really long piece. I don't know, I guess, what is it? Triple the size, double the size, double and a half, I don't know. I just guessed. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take, you can start at either the top or the bottom. I'm gonna start at the top. I'm gonna put a piece right there. And I'm just gonna lay it up like this. See that? And then I'm going to take it back around, and I'm gonna put it like this, loop it down. And I'm just gonna hold it with my fingers, so I have a loop right here. Does that make sense? I have the end right here, the loop right here. And as I hold those down, I'm gonna take this piece, the other end, and I'm going to start wrapping it around my piece. Okay, so just constantly going around it. And you do this as many times as you want, but you do need to do it several times at least so that you have a binding. I hope that makes sense. Like a binding. I don't know what else to call it. Like, it needs to be thick enough so that you're actually gonna create the knot. Because what we're gonna do is we're going to pull the knot through, and you want it to be underneath it. So you wanna make sure that it's wide enough. Here's my loop down here. You wanna make sure that this is wide enough. See how it's working there? That it's gonna hide that knot, because that's the whole point of the hidden knot. So you don't see it. Okay, now I'm getting a little bit better here. I have a little bit more thickness to that. And then you decide how long you want it, and you can decide that by how long you have cut your thread or whatever you're using to do this. Now I just want to see how deep do I want that. And you just wind it, and you just go down. I hope you're seeing that. Okay. There we go. And so I'm getting towards the end of my string here, And I didn't get all my threads down in there. I'm going to try and pull that through right there. So now when you come around, what you're going to do is you're going to feed your string that you were winding with. You have the one that you left up on top. You're going to take the string that you were winding with and you're going to dip it down into the loop that you have there. Like that. Did you see that? So I came back around. I'll do it again. I'm done winding. I have my string that I left on the top. I have my loop right here at the bottom. I'm going to come around, as I come around, instead of going back around, I'm going to come down to where my loop is, and I'm going to just tuck it down into my loop. I'm going to go into the little hole there. And then that stays there. And then you take the top thread and you just start gently tugging it, and you'll see how it's grabbing that. You'll want to make sure you have a hold of that because that's going to be your knot. I'm going to see if I can do this, laying this down. So I'm not like tying it, I'm just holding it. I want to hold all these threads down. This is not easy to do and to show people at the same time. So let's hope for the best here. And as I'm pulling it, you see how it's going to grab that? And I'm going to let it pull it through there. There we go. And that's it. There's my hidden knot. So as long as I feel good about how I secured it. I've got it in there like that. Now I can just cut these off. I can cut the bottom one off too. If I would have used something else, a piece that I used within here, I could just let this, I could have stopped this later, made it longer, good night. And it would just blend right into there. But I did not do that, so I'm going to just snip it off. It's fine with me. And there we go. And now you have that cute little, that lock right there. You can do this without even having to have a ring. So if you don't want it on a ring, if you want it to be able to connect to something else, then you would just simply use whatever you're using to make your knot there, and you would just hold that in place to keep this little loopy thing there, and then you can do it however you like. Let me see. Let's do another one here really quick because that's how I'm quick, right? So I've got all these threads that I pulled. Oops. Let me see how fast I can do this because I have them like they're extra long. So this one, whoops. Yeah, I can't just pick it up because I made them like really long, and I want to just do it like that. And I'll put this red one in here. So these colors were just really speaking to me, but see, I'm not going to make it that long. I'm going to go ahead and cut that one in half because I know I'm going to like it. And I'm going to cut this one in half. I'm going to make this pretty fat, I think. I think it's just going to end up that fat. I don't want it as long as the other one, so I think I'm just going to go just slightly over the 12 mark. I've got some ribbons in here, some pink and some green. I've got some sari silk in here. I've got yellows here, brown. I love all these colors. They're just all so pretty. So I think I'm going to do that one there like that. Okay. And then there's that one here, like so. Okay, that's a scrap piece. I'll put it right there. I don't want it on there yet. Okay, I have some lace. I'll put that on in a minute. Let me get some of this in here. Yes, please. Love that. I've got some black. Help pop it in a little bit. I've got some of this pretty pink stuff here. I like that one and that one. I'll put some more of this white right in here. Whoops. There we go. Whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Okay. I've got some of this maroon burgundy, I don't know, whatever color it is. Here is a piece of just regular brown. See, this might be nice to bind it. I'm going to put that there for just a minute. And I think I like this one. Oh, I have a lot of this one. I'll put that one there and that one there. And then we'll put this brown one right there. We'll put some of this sparkle on here, right there. We'll put one on this side. And then these ones, this is some thread, but it always wants to like unwind, like it pulls. So when I cut it, I actually knot it at the bottoms. at the ends. And so there's that one. And I just knot it by like that's not even a good knot, is it? I just take it and I just wrap it around my finger when they're thin, and I just pull them, whoops, and I just make that. If I want to bead it, I'll just use it to put beads or anything on. I'll snip that knot off. I'll do the beading, and then I'll put the knot back on there again. Just easy. I think it's easy. I say it's easy, and then watch me do something crazy. That's all right. Who doesn't like a little crazy? See, this one would be a good binding too. I'm going to lay that one there because I don't know. I might have to just go get another piece. Here's some more black. Oh, look at that one. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm going to go ahead and just drop my beads on right now. I'm going to put my lace in there. And I'm going to put this stuff here, which I have a lot of this too. But like I said, I like to use it for beading. Let's go. Whoops. So I'm going to put 2 of them there. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Whoops. Did I just hit the camera? Oh my gosh, my hands are probably like way up in there. Sorry. I'm not paying attention to that. I'm paying attention to this. Good night. So we'll get some more sparkle. We'll put that one there. And then isn't that fun? There's 2 pieces here. So there's this one right here. And then there's this one right here. Okay. And I think that's everybody. Gosh dang it. I really wanted these colors in here though. So I'm going to... I think I'm just going to put them in, and I'll just go grab something really quick here. I want this one on this side, and I want this one on this side. And then the same thing, or do I want to bind it with the brown? Because it would just blend in. I guess I could do that. Yeah, maybe I'll do that one. All right, so I'm going to pick it up. Again, I'm going to do that. See how I like it. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I just love this one. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is, so this is where I was talking about where you want to tie this off in here before, like we did the other one, just so you always have that loop so you know where it's at. But I want to tie it with something that's a little bit more substantial in color that's going to stand apart. I think this will. Whoops. I don't know what I'm trying to make my hands do, but so. I'm just going to tie that in a knot. And then the same thing, I'm just going to tie this off here for me so I have it to, I know where my point is if I need it for anything. And then I'm going to cut this off, and now I have that right there, and I can clearly see where my middle is. And then if I don't want to put it on a keychain or a loop or anything, or maybe I want to use this to attach it to something else, or I want to use it for like maybe I want to put a button on here and put that on the top. I don't know. I don't have to have it on a ring. I don't have it stuck on a ring. I can now take this and I can just tie it off and make my thing, or I can just go ahead and do my knot. So I'm just going to go ahead. I don't think I need to tie it off. I don't like that little bobble thing. I don't think I have to do that to make my tie, so I'm not going to. I'm going to now, again, put this on the top, get my loop down right here, and I'm going to make my loop a little bit smaller because I want as much of this as I can get. I'm going to pull that down just a little bit more. There we go. And my loop right there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and start, whoops. I'm going to go ahead and undo everything I just did. Okay, I'm holding it. I am holding it. I'm going to start my tie. I want my short end there. So then I'm going to make a loop right here. And it doesn't matter how it goes down, it just has to be a loop. And then I'm going to start winding around. And my first couple of winds, I just do them really tight. And you have to decide, if once I start winding it, I'm like, oh no, I want my little head. Look how big my tassel is, and look how tiny my head is of this. What do I want that to be bigger? I think I do. So I'm gonna go ahead and start a little bit lower, which means my tail is gonna be a little bit bigger, I think, maybe. Let me see. I'm gonna put my tail there, my loop down here, and then I'm gonna start winding lower, like right here. And then, which I still have a habit of making small heads, but that's all right. I like that better. It's a little bit more substantial. Don't lose your loop. And then you just wind. You just wind it. That's it, down your loop. Not completely encasing your entire loop in there though. You want to make sure you have a little bit left to feed it through. And I think that's good enough. And then if I do that, this is gonna stay long. Oh, I can go a couple more times, it looks like. Possibly. Maybe one more time, and then I'll won't press my luck anymore, because I really want it to blend in there. So here I am at the end of it. Get out of there. And I've got a nice, I love that nice wide piece. I'm gonna feed it through the bottom. I mean, feed it through so it goes to the bottom. Feed it through. Did you see that? And now that's there, I'm just gonna go ahead and hang on to that. I'm gonna pull the top one. It's gonna pull that. Do you see that? So it's still in there. And I'm just gonna kind of hold it best I can. And I wanna pull that all the way up underneath into my piece there. Giving it a nice little tug without destroying my work here. And then I can just let that piece go down in there. This one I'm gonna cut off because, you know, it's sticking up. So I'm just gonna give it a snip, just like that. And then I have my tassel. And if I don't want, whenever I attach this to anything else, if I don't like this here, I can even cut the whole thing off if I want. I just find my little knot and I can snip the whole thing. I don't find it necessary to cut the whole thing. What I do, if it doesn't usually ever seem to bother me that it's tied right there because it blends pretty well, I just snip it off or snip the strings off. So it's just personal preference on what you want to do. But there you go. Now, if I decide I want to attach this to something, there's different kinds of rings. So there's like this ring right here. It's pretty big though. I can open it and then I can just feed that through, and it doesn't even matter where it goes through, honestly, because it's just going to be on there. But if I don't want a ring that's that big, and say I wanted to do like this cute little clip right here, then I can even take these pieces right here and I can feed them through there if I wanted to, or something like that. I mean, you're gonna see that, and that's gonna go in there like that. Or you could, let's see, I don't have another one of these anywhere near me, but the same thing with here. You can still feed, you can tie these off, or you can put jump rings in there. Let me see, I wonder if I have a jump ring big enough. I do not know. Let me see, I have these. Ouch, gosh dang it. Let me see if I can get it open. And then, so these are pretty strong. Oh, I just got my big old head in there. So I do have these, and I think they're kind of strong. A lot of times I'll take these and I'll just, oh gosh, I guess they're not too bad. And you can just, yep, put it right through where your knot is. You can do that for as many as you want, and then you just have those little loops, and you can do that. And then you can even do some beading work from there if you wanted to. So I'm not a beader. I don't really know how to do it, but you have that option as well. And then you would have this little dangle. Another thing I like to do, just so while we're on the subject of the jump rings, is you can take your jump rings, whoops, here they are right here, and jumping around. When you have your little tie here, you can just like poke them around and through this, whoops, and drop them like that. So I can now take that there, And I have little rings, and they can be, I'm just using these big ones because that's what I have right now, but you can use the big ones or the little ones. You can add more, and then you can add chain, jewelry. Let me see. This doesn't match, but this is what I have next to me right now. Oh, I guess maybe I have something that matches. I have these little beads and gems, so like if I wanted, I have that jump ring there. So I could just take, I'm gonna need pliers. Oh, those are all wire cutters. Let me see. I've got these. Let's see what we can, let me see what I have in here. Oh my gosh. Goodness. Okay. I have these ones. These ones don't go in there. So if I wanted that one, I don't know if I would want that big giant one though. Ooh. Let's see. I mean, it's just so big, but I like to have them, see how that's pretty stiff? So if I have this one right here, I don't know how well I'm doing this because I can't really see what I'm doing. And then I want, see, I want some of these gems on here. Honestly, any of these colors would go with this, wouldn't it? So I just need to take it apart. Where am I going to take it apart from? Right here. I like that, I think. Did I not move it? Struggling. Angie, let me off the bus, please. Please. Okay. Lordy. Okay. I know there's probably an easier way to do this. I'm not a beater. I don't know. And then my hands are a little on the different side. So I just wanted to bend that back in there so that it doesn't come off. And then I take this. And what I want to do here is I just want to make sure, so the same thing I just did that one, I want to make sure my loop is down in there because I've made these and then this wasn't connected and then that wasn't fun. So I can just take another one of these. Find where it opens. And then there's that little piece that I made sure is secure on this one. I think it was this one right here. Yep, sure was. And then I'm going to take it on this one right here. And that's how I'm going to add my beads. And there is probably a million ways that you can do this. And you can even add these on when you're making it. But, and now I have that piece right there. And I just have a little bit more gold embellishments with my jump rings in there. Look at that one's not even on there very good, is it? See, this one just moves too easy. I don't like it, but I mean, honestly, I'm not putting this on a keychain and it's just going to be dangling somewhere pretty. So there you go. That's how I make my tassels. Pretty simple, don't you think? I think so. Let me know what you think, and if you have any tips and tricks on tassels, I'd love to hear those too. So hope you'll enjoy this video. I will see you on the next one, my friends. Enjoy all your moments. Bye.